guys, and welcome to another episode of ARK for Beginners, for people who don't know how to play ARK and want to learn how quick. Today I'm going to teach you how to make fertilizer. There are two ways so that you can fertilize the crops in your garden and get them to grow. Now, my favorite method of getting fertilizer is to tame a dung beetle and let them do it for you. But to do that, to tame a dung beetle, you need to get poop first. So you can get feces from your tames, they just drop it and you pick it up, or you can do what I did, since I'm already over here next to these trikes. I'm just going to go ahead and wait for one of them to drop some dung. Now, a dung beetle is a passive tame, which means you will not trank it and knock it out to tame it. You'll just feed it until it's tamed. A lot of animals are like that. All the glow creatures on the aberration map, a Calicotherium here, Diplodocus, Equus, things like that. For this one, I'm going to feed him poop and he will love me. But after the dung beetle is tamed, they actually don't eat poop anymore. They eat spoiled meat. So be very careful about that. The size of the feces that you get will influence how fast your dung beetle is tamed. Large feces tame dung beetles fastest. Small tame them slowest. So you might need 2 or 3 smalls to tame a low-level dung beetle. So after you get your feces, you're going to want to drag and drop one down on the last spot on your hop keys. So that you can run up to them and force feed them, basically. Unfortunately, dung beetles always hang out in dangerous places. Here on Ragnarok, they hang out near the Dragon Trench. On Scorched Earth, they hang out in the sand dunes. I think they hang out in like lava caves and stuff on the island. I can't really remember, but I know they're in the Skull Cave on the center. They are way down in the radiation area on Aberration, and usually I found them in the Sanctuary on Extinction. You can see it says feed small animal feces to tame. All I did was press E and it went in there, and now you can see the taming bar there. It's 50% tamed. I did use a small animal feces. I should have used the large one because then it would have tamed right away. But now I've got to wait for him to get hungry again. I went ahead and put another one in my hot bar, just making sure nothing's over here to eat me. Now I'm going to feed it again, and tamed. All set. Now you can pick up your dung beetle and carry it around with you. Just hit E, and then you can climb on any animal you want, any mount to ride it. I went ahead and rode my raptor back to the house. You do need a contained area for the dung beetle because in order to make fertilizer, the dung beetle has to be on wander. So I'm going to double tap F here and just throw my dung beetle down. I'm going to hit U so he stops following me, because it won't help if he is. I will go ahead and put these feces on him in his inventory, but I want to make sure that he's not too weighed down, otherwise he won't be able to wander around. So I've got the spoiled meat in here so he doesn't starve. Eventually he will be turning this poop into fertilizer, but first I need to put him on wander. So what I do is I hold down E, go to behavior, and then click enable wandering. Since I've got him in a contained area, he's going to wander around, and in a few minutes he'll probably turn that into fertilizer for me. Okay, the easiest way, I guess as a low-level character, to make fertilizer is to use a compost bin. You need 12 fiber, 15 thatch, and 50 wood. And this is easy because you don't have to tame anything, you just have to get resources. And you can turn dung into fertilizer. So I'm going to get out my metal hatchet. Actually, it's a stone hatchet, I don't have a metal one yet. That is the best weapon for getting wood. And then when I go over here, I'm going to go ahead and try to get some thatch. So I'm only going to use my pickaxe, because that's best at getting thatch. See? Then I'm going to go over here and gather plants to get fiber. Just go into the middle of these bushes and hit E. You'll get berries, you'll get seeds, and you'll get fiber, which is what I'm looking for right now. Now when you do this, make sure you get extra thatch, because in a compost bin you actually need to put feces into the compost bin's inventory as well as thatch to create fertilizer. That's why I like dung beetles better, because they don't need thatch to create fertilizer. So I'm going to head back to my base over here. I'm ready to create the compost bin. I just want to make sure real quick that it's actually in my Ingrams. Yes, it is. I have already learned it. So I'm going to go back to my inventory, click on crafting. I'm going to type in compost bin just so it comes up. Right click and then craft 1. The compost bin drives me crazy because when you actually have a compost bin placed somewhere, you can hear the buzz of flies. So I hate having it around my house. I just prefer dung beetles. But that's okay. So I'll just place it over here. And now I need to put feces and thatch into it. It takes 50 thatch and 3 feces to actually make 1 fertilizer, and it takes almost an hour for it to happen. Okay, so those are the 2 ways that you can make fertilizer in ARK. You can also just use feces to fertilize your plants, but they are not nearly as effective as regular fertilizer. I do prefer the dung beetle method, but it's up to you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. What you want?